So when it was first announced, it was actually announced that we were going to Tanzania, which I find really funny. And then I remember Brittany came in the next week and I was like, Brittany, we're going to Tanzania. And she was like, no, we're going to Zambia. And I was like, okay. And I felt called to go on the mission trip, but I'll be perfectly honest, I was a little bit nervous because I have a lot of symptoms with my chronic illness, and I thought that that would make traveling really difficult. But after I prayed about it quite a bit and I talked to my parents, I decided that it was something that I was gonna do, and I was determined to go. And I wasn't going to give up until I went. I think the first thing that I noticed was the hospitality of the people there. They were so incredibly welcoming, and it didn't matter that we were from America. I mean, it was a little bit weird because we're foreigners, but they received us like we were family. They made meals for us, they wanted to talk to us, and whenever we would go out and hang out with the kids, they weren't hesitant at all to come up and talk to us. It was like they would just come right up and ask us what our names were, and then they were like, do you want to play? And I was like, sure, I'll do that. So that was really incredible because I think here there's a little bit of a stigma around just going up and talking to people. I think people are a little bit thrown off by that. They're like, whoa, what do you want? But it was really nice to just feel very welcomed there. I think something that really stood out to me was one day we were going to evangelize, and I had never done it before, so that was a completely new experience for me. But it was me, my dad, Kelsey, and Anna, and we went and we visited this lady, and Anna shared her testimony, and the lady decided right then and there, her name was Dorothy, she decided right then and there that she was going to accept Christ. And I thought that was so cool because I had never actually seen that step in a person's faith before. I had only ever seen people get baptized and the after effects of that. I had never actually seen someone in the moment when they decided to accept Christ. And we later learned, Joe told us, that Dorothy had moved to that village the day before we visited her. So I thought that was like a crazy God moment that she was there right at the perfect time, and then we were there at the right perfect time. There was like an overwhelming feeling in my heart. It was so weird. I felt so elated, and I couldn't come down from that high. And it was an incredible feeling because it was like no matter what happened from then on, it couldn't destroy that feeling. It couldn't take that feeling away from me, which was amazing. Before the mission trip, I used to be a little bit shy and a little bit nervous about sharing the gospel. I kind of used the idea of, oh, my actions will show that I'm a Christ follower. And while that is important, I use that as a crutch to not share the gospel because I was so nervous. But this trip really gave me a lot of confidence and trust, and God really showed me how I can share the gospel, and I don't have to be nervous about it, and I don't have to be afraid of people rejecting me or anything like that. I can have the confidence to stand firmly in my faith and share the gospel when necessary. I had been really hoping that God would show me what He wanted me to do with my life. I had previously felt called to work for UNICEF or a similar organization, and I just realized on that trip, like when we were playing with those kids and we were talking with those people and just visiting with them, it really made me realize, like, this is what I want to do with my life. It solidified my calling, and I realized that God wanted me to do that with my life. And so I'm so thankful that I went to Zambia because I just feel so solidly called to do that now. I think a really important thing about going on a mission trip that I didn't think about beforehand was the fellowship that we formed, both within our group and with the people of Zambia. Before we went on the trip, there were several people that I didn't know all that well, that I had exchanged a few words in passing, but I didn't really know them. And on this trip, all of us, because it was a smaller group, we all got to know each other really well, and we got to share our struggles and our strengths and what our experiences were like in our faith. And also with the people, especially of J-Life Ministry, like Joe and Kalita and Emmanuel and Brian and Mercy, they were all so incredibly welcoming. And not only did we help them in going there, but they also helped us while we were there. They gave us tips on how to be stronger Christians, and they really encouraged us to grow in our faith, which I thought was absolutely amazing.